Today we're going to turn the tarot and ask the question, why do you keep choosing the wrong person? And that's a pretty popular question I keep hearing pop up all over the place. So we're going to try to answer that today. And so welcome back to Tarot with a Twist or wordwithatwist.com with me, Kev. And we're going to do a tarot reading with maybe Lenormand layered in and some oracle cards at the end. And we'll kick this off with a mini cross, one of my favorite spreads to use for these type of questions. Now, why do you keep choosing the wrong person, right? Well, the overall theme of that is the Queen of Pentacles. You feel like that they come off as they're supposed to take care of you, but they don't. It's like they're a little bit reckless, and it's that bad boy, bad girl type of vibe that you're drawn to. And so at the end of the day, it's not really the security that you need in your life. And so you pick this wrong type of energy. So it's a little bit reckless, right? Go out there, spend, have fun. And that's the type of person that is maybe the reason why you keep choosing the wrong one, because you're looking for something that isn't based in reality per se. It's more like in a dream or like in a desire, right? And what kind of keeps you hooked on that is a Seven of Swords. It's almost like you keep lying to yourself. You keep saying to yourself, yeah, but it'll work because this person's going to do what I want. They're going to give me comfort. They're going to help me move through things, but it's a lie. It's all based on lies. It's like it's not based on reality. It's based on deception. So you see here the Seven of Swords and Mind card. So it's almost like they're getting into your head, telling you what you want to hear, and saying that that lifestyle that you've chosen with them is always going to work out just fine. But really, they're not who they say they are. That's the issue. That's what you're dealing with. And you look at the seven, is that you have to really start assessing things more closely, because the seven and the queen is a 3. So in my system, you have a 1 for page, 2 for knights, 3 for queens, and 4 for kings, because it's a cycle, 1 to 10. And so here you have a 10. And because you didn't really step back and assess the situation properly, it's a toxic cycle that keeps spinning over and over again, back to the one, to the new thing, to the new person, to the new person's it's the exact same toxicity that you dealt with in the past. Okay. And so what always brings you to this point, the 10 of Cups, it's emotional. They play on the whole family thing. Oh, I love you really well. You're the right person for me. And no matter what, it's always going to work out perfectly. And that's the lie, the Seven of Swords, that you believe. They're clouding your vision with emotions. They're manipulating you. And that's what always brings you back to this type of weird toxic cycle that you're dealing with all the time. And if you continue on this path, then you end up in the Nine of Pentacles. You end up not having enough because they're always draining you. They're always draining your energy, draining your wealth, draining all your resources, because they don't have what you need. They don't have the security that they lie about. They don't have the security that they tell you that they have. So they end up using you and draining you dry. They bleed you dry. And so it's because of these lies that they feed you, you keep going back to the exact same thing over and over again. And what's really known about this, what's really sitting on top of all this toxicity is what you know, the Two of Cups. You know the relationship isn't stable. You know it's built on false security. You know it's built on lust. It's not really love per se. It may feel like it's love because it's hot and fast, but it's not. It's Two of Cups upside down. So it's kind of like the energy is always just draining you. So even though the person is intertwined, right? You think they're the one, they're not. And you know that. It's always kind of on your mind. It's always in your head. You're always thinking about that, because no matter what you seem to do, you never can do enough for them because they're not who they say they are. And that keep driving back to the point that it's just the wrong person in your life. So it's always based on this false reality. It's almost like you're chasing a dream or a show that doesn't exist. Like the Truman Show, right? It doesn't exist. So you have to kind of go back to basics and maybe become more reserved and more conservative in the way you search for a partner. Maybe that's the problem, right? And then what's always running in the shadows here is what? The 10 of Wands is like, see, 10 of Wands, you want them to have the control, to take care of you. So you think about the 10 of Wands, you see how the card's very heavy and he's carrying all the weight on his back. And with reverse, it means you have to let go and delegate a little bit, which means that you want them to basically lead, kind of like in a dance, right? The person leads you in the dance. And so this is fire. And you want somebody to take care of you so that you can feel that nurturing that you are longing for, Queen of Pentacles, right? You want to feel taken care of, but the problem is you're taking care of them. And that's running the shadow, and you just don't know how to break that cycle. And again, it's a 10. It's a vicious cycle that continues on over and over again. All right. And so what I want to do now is I want to turn to Lenormand and dig in a little bit deeper here to kind of see why this keeps happening. Well, we kind of know from the tarot perspective. Now I want to look at it from the Lenormand perspective. Okay. We know it's around toxicity, lies. You believe them isn't true. They keep tripping you up emotionally with the 10s. It's a cycle that goes and continues on forever. It just never ends, right? Okay. So the core theme around this is you feel that these people you engage with, they're the ones going to unlock your happiness to life, because you're relying on somebody else's passion rather than your own. And that's why you kind of get stuck in this vicious cycle, right? And when you look at it this way, so you feel like when you're out with them on the town, the garden, 20, having a good time, it makes you feel secure and happy because you're always doing something different. It always takes you on this wild ride. So it's always good. But again, it's based on make-believe, not reality. And that's a problem. So every time you think you have success, like, oh my gosh, we're going to get a new thing now. They're going to love me. They're going to maybe, bring in news of like a long-term relationship, something new, but it doesn't happen because it goes back in cycles, because you have to break that bond. You have to break that pattern that you're stuck in right now. And so that's why you keep choosing the wrong person, is that you're looking for something that they don't have, because you have to, at the end of the day, rely on yourself and go within to find it. Only you can give yourself the security that you need. Nobody else can. You can't trust anybody else. You got to trust you. And when you start trusting in you, then guess what happens? Things start going the right way. And then when you start picking the right person for your life, not the wrong person all the time. And even here, when you look at the numbers, you have a 33, okay, and a 1 is a 34, and a 34 plus a 20 is a 54. That's a 5 energy and a 4 energy. So it's really the stability that you have is based on chaos, the 5. And that brings you a 9 that's draining your abundance. So what you have to do is you have to free yourself from the cycle, turn that 5 around to make your foundation solid, to bring you abundance. But rather than relying on somebody else, you got to do it yourself. That's what I'm seeing. That's what the cards are showing. All right. Now, let's go ahead and also roll some dice here to see what it has to say for us. So we're going to again tie this back in. So what I usually do when I read for people, if you want an energy reading for yourself, go to wordswith.com and book a reading. And this is the type of reading you get where I blend different systems, because I want to get a really clear answer. So we're going to roll a dice here, and we're going to get a 10. And you see how like the dice always goes back to a cycle. 4, it's not stable. 6, you're out of balance. 10, it's a cycle that repeats because you keep choosing the wrong person, because you're not relying on yourself, you're relying on them too much. So if you rely on yourself, then 4, you have stability. 6, you got peace and harmony. 10, break the cycle, go back to 1, a new relationship that basically is equal. So then the cups becomes upside right for the 2 and not upside down, where it's a little bit toxic. Okay? That's what the energy is showing us right now to the question. So let's go to Oracle here to figure out what can we do to help us drive forward, to help us pick the right person and get out of this situation where we keep getting the wrong person in our life, right? What can we do to solve this problem? Okay, so I'm going to split it and pull a card. You see that? Rebirth and renewal. You got to transform. You have to change. You have to let the old yourself, the old you die, the skull, let it just rot. Let the flesh rot off the bones and become a butterfly and grow into something beautiful and special. Because you are special. You are beautiful. But because you're with these people who hurt you, you don't feel very beautiful, do you? And you feel dead. So let the death go and let yourself be reborn and transform into somebody new, somebody that you can rely on yourself with, more so than somebody else. Stop looking for other people to fuel your fire. Find the spark within, and then find the person that can help mirror that energy to bring out the best in you versus the worst. And then it says, we are grains of sand. You don't got a lot of time in this life, so why waste on something that's not worth your time? Why chase something that's not real? Yeah, it's exciting, but at what cost? At the Queen of Pentacles upside down, you being drained of everything? Is that it? Because time's the only commodity you can't replace. And if you don't start taking care of you, before you know it, you're the skeleton in the card. Nothing's left. It's all gone because they took it, and they took your life with it, right? So let go of that energy, transform and renew yourself into something different. Change the way you seek relationships, change the way you seek people to be with. And when you do that, then everything will start working out in your favor. Now let's pick one more card from this deck. Okay. What we got? Oops. T first. Basically, take time out for you. Don't worry about somebody else. Be a little selfish, right? There's only one cup in this picture, not two. So take care of yourself first. Nurture yourself a little bit. Relax. Chill out. Be alone for a bit, you know? Don't always seek the exciting thing. Seek the mundane. And sometimes through that, you find a lot of harmony and peace. All right? So that's what we're seeing with this deck. Now we're going to pull some other oracle cards from the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck and see what it has to say for us. And if this is resonating with you, let me know. Drop in the comments below. And again, if you want an energy reading for yourself, go to wordtothetwist.com, book a reading, and pick one. Or if you want more insights like this, become a member. It's only $9.99 a month, or yearly at $69 a year. And you unlock a lot of content that's not available to the public or here on YouTube. Okay? All right, so what we got? Material and spiritual prosperity, 6. If you want to find the peace and harmony in your life, you have to kind of like look above a little bit, right? Get out of the material world and seek guidance from above to grow and be prosperous. Because when you keep relying on other people, then the material becomes worldly with no spiritual anything in it. It dies. It becomes dead. So if you want to really grow, seek guidance from above. 6, find the peace and harmony, and that sun in the back will shine on you. It'll lift the shadow. You'll be able to go into a new day that will lift you up versus take you down. All right. Then we have wisdom, 5. See the 5 again. If you want to break the struggle you're in, you have to use wisdom. You have to use lessons learned. So if you know that the pattern is the same, break it. You see the dog there? That could be your best friend. Trust what they have to say. Listen to other people so that you can rise above and break the cycle that you're currently in for picking the wrong person over and over again. 5. Free yourself. Stop sitting in the struggle and let the sun again shine. And one more card we'll pick. Intuition. 2. Decide to trust yourself. Decide to trust what your gut tells you. If your gut tells you it's bad, get out. Get out. Rather than being with somebody, court them for a while, old school style, right? Go on dates. Don't do anything. If they don't treat you to dinner, then maybe they're not the right one. If they don't open the car door for you, yeah, I'm old fashioned, then maybe they're not the one. Use your intuition. Watch their moves, understand their motives. And then 2, decide how you want to move forward over time and don't rush into it. Anyway, that's the reading I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, let me know. Drop your comments below. And if you liked, again, a reading for yourself, energy diagnostic like this, wordtothwist.com, book a reading. And I want to see you in my next tutorial or reading. All right. Bye, everybody.